love talking about it, and I'm so happy that that video found the right side of YouTube, because if I'm honest, I was a little nervous to post that, just because I know that people on the internet can be crazy. So anyways, I decided to not do another channel. I'm just gonna do it on this channel, but the videos will be very specifically titled, and it'll be clear that this video, or that whatever video I'm doing for that, is for ghosts. You know, like, it's not just gonna be like a normal ASMR video. You guys saw in the beginning of this video that I put a little disclosure. I'm going to be putting that in all the videos related to this content. There's also a little ghosty, and I'm going to be titling the videos per episode. I just think that idea is really cute, and it'll also help you guys keep track of like the timeline. This stuff did start happening when I was a child, so I can't put it all in one video, and I wouldn't want to, because I feel like I would, miss details or try to speed up the process. The video would be 45 minutes long, probably longer. So we're just gonna do it this way for now, unless you guys can think of any other ideas that might be better. So, without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. I do have a coffee. If you want to grab a beverage and snuggle up, I'm going to start with like my oldest memory from like having my first encounter with the paranormal. So if you want to grab a beverage, grab a snack, and get cozy, we will jump right into it. So I was born and raised in Oregon, and when I was like 8, Theodore has a bone, and he's like right outside the door, so I'm so sorry if there's cuts. But when I was like 8, my parents bought a house in a city in Oregon. I don't really want to say too many details because, well, you'll find out in a second. But anyways, they bought a house in a city, and did I say I was 8? We moved out of there when I was 8. We moved in there when I was maybe like 5 or 6. And very shortly after living there, we got new neighbors, like new next door neighbors, and the house that they moved into, I remember it like really freaking me out. It was very big and like just like a weird vibe. I didn't want to say the neighborhood or the city, because I did. Did you guys hear that? Because I did find the house on Redfin, and I'm going to post some pictures of it. I don't want to say the address or the city, just to respect the privacy of the people that live there now, obviously. But I wanted you guys to see the house because it is so creepy, and it has a creepy background. So I'm going to add pictures of that house when I talk more about it. But so we got new neighbors, and my brother befriended their son. They had 2 sons. One was a little bit older, and one was my brother's age. And then I am younger than my brother, so I didn't really, hang out with them too much. They also didn't have a daughter, so I didn't really show any interest. But my brother befriended their son, and then they became really good friends. Then our parents became friends. it was addressed so many times with them, and they would always say like the lights weren't on a timer, no one's up there, no one would be home, and it would turn on. And I just have very like clear memories of watching that attic light turn on and then seeing people walk back and forth. And not only that, but like they were quick. Like it wasn't just like a measly stroll past the window. It was like zoom, 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 like so fast. So I don't know, that was like really weird to me, and I believed them when they said like that's not us, because it was almost like not human speed. I don't know, really weird. So anyways, we were staying the night there, and I was freaked out because of the attic, and like, you know, hearing that story and all the nightmares I've had up to the like up until this point about the house. Those nightmares too, I can like still remember them to this day. So I remember we're going to sleep, and I was sleeping with my brother in the guest room. And then like my brother's friend was like in his room. Normally my brother and his friend like had like a sleepover in like the living room or whatever, but because I was there, my brother slept with me. And I remember I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know what time it was. I didn't have like a cell phone. I was probably like 7 years old. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was just this woman standing like by the door, which was kind of like at the foot of the bed for me, but like diagonal. And I remember being so scared, but like I couldn't talk or like scream. And I remember she just like came over to me and like placed her hand on my like forearm, because I was like sitting up, and she just told me that there was nothing to be scared about and that I was safe. I wasn't scared because her like vibe wasn't scary. She had like a very calming presence to her, which was like I think about it like an aunt, like very like nurturing. Oops, I'm sorry. Very like nurturing like when I